And what's up, everybody? Back with another episode of the Talkin' NASCAR podcast. I'm joined once again tonight. Can't see his face, but he's here. Hitmaster's back and
Yes, I am.
ready to roll. This should be good. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about today, though. Las Vegas is in the books. Talk about everything that happened there with the Xfinity and the Cup Series. Was fairly exciting weekend. Not the best, whatever. We'll get to it later. We got a lot of silly season news as we get closer to the end of the 2023 season. It really has flown by. The more that you really look at it, I mean, it feels like just like 2 weeks ago we were starting the season, and now we're down to just 3 races left in the Cup and Xfinity, and only 2 on the truck. So it's been going quite fast, but we're getting there. A lot of cool stuff to talk about silly season news wise. Not too much though, so that might not take forever. Then at the end, we'll take a look at the playoff outlook for the Xfinity and the Cup Series and preview this weekend's action at Homestead Miami Speedway. So, anyway, first off though, we'll start with Las Vegas. I did not get to watch any of the Xfinity racing this weekend. I did, however, get to watch a decent amount of the Cup Series. Not a lot, but a decent amount, which I was excited about. So, I don't know if you got to watch any of the action, Hitmaster, or not, but
I was at work, so.
Anyway, but I did watch the highlights. So for the Xfinity race, the highlights didn't really show a whole lot. We did see the big one happen though because of a blown motor. So 7 cars got collected in that. The big one at Las Vegas is pretty rare. And I guess it wasn't because of just like action-packed racing. It was because of a blown motor. But it was still pretty cool to watch. So that was pretty cool. Nothing else really happened, but it was actually a pretty exciting duel for the finish. And it was a feel-good story. Riley Herbst gets his first ever Xfinity Series win, which is awesome. Awesome. First-time winners are always cool to see. And he had to earn this one, too. He had a lot of fight and competition for the lead near the end of the race, but he was able to really channel some really good wisdom and experience and play that to his advantage and was able to get the win. So that was really cool to see. And then in the Cup Series, I got to watch a fair amount of the race. The playoff drivers overall in the race, not many of them really had much issues during the race. It's kind of a rarity that we've had nobody really have any problems. I think like the worst running driver overall was like Chris Buescher, and he ended up getting 11th. With some other drivers, getting around top 15, top 20, around there. No real problems though. Just some drivers didn't do so good with playoff points and stage points. It wasn't a huge deal though. Now, an oddity that I noticed at the race was that a couple got married at the NASCAR race this weekend. And they were married in the pits. This was a pretty wacky thing for them to put on TV, because what happened was it was like a quote-unquote pit stop wedding or whatever, so like 15 seconds, they just did the whole thing in 15 seconds in the pits. It was pretty wild to see on TV, but quite honestly, out of all ways to get married, that's up there for one of the ones that I'd do. But it was a wild thing. As far as the wildness on the track, there really wasn't much that I noticed to talk about. I guess the biggest one was a pit road collision that caused Alex Bowman had trouble, and he crashed out of the race early, midway through actually. But Kyle Larson outright dominated this race, sweeping the stages and really channeling some of his inner 2021 charisma and talent, and was able to dominate this race. He did face some adversity, having to get back to the field with pit issues. And he faced a pretty good challenge at the end from Christopher Bell. And Bell almost did make a run at it and was very, very close to beating out Larson. And really could have actually moved Larson for the win had he wanted to. But he played civil. And Larson was able to get the win and be the first driver in the Cup Series to advance to the Final Four. Now, technically, nobody has clinched a spot in the Final Four in the Xfinity Series yet because Riley Herbst is not a playoff driver, and he was the winner of the race. So, but Larson is advanced, so that was cool. Then there was some little bit of post-race problems. Ryan Blaney was initially, after finishing 6th, Ryan Blaney was initially disqualified from the race, garnering him a 36th place finish, which would have been a huge killer for him in the points. And then the next day, they realized that there was a problem with the inspection template that they were using, so they fixed that and then brought the car back for inspection, and then it passed inspection, so they just re-incented the problem, and Blaney wasn't disqualified. That was a weird turn of events, but so that kind of screwed up a couple things, but oh well. At least they got it all figured out, and at least Ryan Blaney was able to not have that problem with the points, because otherwise he would have been in a pretty shitty situation going forward for his fight for the championship. But that's really it for Las Vegas. My opinion, it's typical Las Vegas stuff. The spring race is usually the one that has more action, and we definitely saw that this year. But this race had, ups and downs for the weekend. Definitely some playoff shakeup. But it's Las Vegas. Never super good, never terrible action either, though. So that's always good to see. But I don't know if you had any other points to add there, Hitmaster, or not, about the weekend before we move on.
I really didn't see it. I was at work, so never got really the chance to watch it. So I was trying to look at the highlights to see if anything looked cool, and I saw that Larson almost screwed his race up.
Yeah, he did. He did pull off a pretty nice save. Can't be a Kyle Larson win without something going wrong for him.
Right.
So, well, without that, I guess we'll put Las Vegas, just like all of their other failed attempts, put it in the books and gamble it away. So, but we got some other stuff. Riley Herbst earned that win. Well, actually, no, he got the win the Saturday at the Xfinity race, and it didn't actually earn him, but it was kind of his reward, because right before the race, he announced that he was returning to Stewart-Haas next season to run in 2024. So, kind of helped back up that expansion for him. So that was nice. Kind of pretty good timing though as well, for sure. So, other silly season news: Corey Haim is returning to Tricon Racing next season. That was also announced, so that is cool to see. He's been having some pretty good runs. Hopefully, will continue next season. As other silly season stuff, Stefan Parsons will be the driver of the 25 truck at Phoenix. Now, big thing with that is that was Matt DiBenedetto's ride, and then a few weeks ago, he was spontaneously let go from the ride at Rackley WAR after being eliminated from the playoffs, and also announcing he wouldn't return. He was just booted from the ride, so they were trying to find a driver. They found a driver for the next two already. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but they finally got a driver for the championship race as well. So good stuff there. Okay, actually, yeah, that was all the silly season stuff for the week. I thought there was more, but that doesn't mean we have any other wild news to talk about, though. So a really cool thing for this weekend, Kevin Harvick is running a cool throwback car to his championship season. He's doing a Budweiser paint scheme with the 4, running it at Homestead. That was the scheme that he won his Cup championship with in 2014. His now confirmed only Cup championship since he's out of the playoffs this year. And it's really, really cool. It looks exactly the same as the one he ran in 2014, besides the number placement and besides the yellow banner on top. That's really all that's different about the car, and I think that is awesome. So, great stuff there for Harvick. It's a sick looking car. It's going to look really cool on the track, so can't wait for that. We had a penalty post Las Vegas. Ty Gibbs' team was penalized for a loose wheel. He lost a tire during the race. As a result, per protocol that we've seen for a good amount of times during the season, 2 crew members are suspended for the next 2 races, which is Homestead and Martinsville. So, pretty simple stuff there. And here's a funny one. I got a DM about this today. William Byron's car for Martinsville has been unveiled. He's going to be sponsored by Pods. Past viewers of the channel may know of a certain short where I reacted to the commercial because I think it's an honestly extremely stupid ad. Yeah, we got the house. Stupid freaking ad. Anyway, so of course,
oh my God, I'm looking this up now.
Of course, William Byron has to run that paint scheme at Martinsville. Just awesome. Makes me want to eat a pod, but not the pod trailer that they use to transfer stuff. No, a Tide Pod instead. Absolutely stupid. But the car doesn't even look that good either. It doesn't fit the 24 paint scheme agenda that they've always had with Jeff Gordon, William Byron, all of them. Doesn't fit at all. So, pissing me off.
Looking this up.
Pissing me off. Anyway, what are you gonna do about it? I think it's pretty funny though, to be honest.
Oh, I thought it was Tide Pods. Oh my God.
Pretty good stuff. Anyway. Only had really a couple other things to talk about. Again, it was a pretty short week. But probably the biggest piece of news for the week was out of the courthouse, as Robert Devine was indicted on federal tax evasion charges. Now, Robert Devine was a former car owner for NASCAR. Let's pull up the article here from NBC Sports. So, yep, he was indicted with 4 counts of failure to pay payroll taxes. So he was around for a while. He was the owner of BK Racing, which ran from 2012 all the way until 2018. Now here's the funny thing, because that was right when I watched that team's entire existence. And they had some pretty cool looking cars in 2013, 2012, 2013, even 2014. I wanted their diecast so bad. They look so cool. They're so hard to get though because the drivers they had sucked. But so it's pretty wild that that this happened. Anyway, Another wild thing, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the team 72 hours before the 2018 Daytona 500. And shortly before a bank was going to begin court proceedings to request it to operate BK Racing and seek a preliminary injunction to prevent him from selling or leasing the team's charter. The bank claimed that the team owed more than $8 million in outstanding loans. Insane. Front Row Motorsports would purchase the charter for later that year for $2.08 million, which is crazy. But yeah, hopefully this will put it all to end. Hopefully everybody gets the justice that is deserving for them, whether it's they get money that they should have gotten, or he simply just goes to jail or whatnot. It's really all we can really hope for there. And then finally, for news this week, really the only thing I think I had, it just came out in time of recording this. The 61 truck team just withdrew their entry to the Homestead race. This was a newer team too, and so it kind of sucks. It was Jake Drew and the 61 truck for Hattori Racing Enterprises. They're out of the race, so now only 34 trucks will compete in the race. It's the smallest field since April of this year at the Texas race. So that kind of sucks. It doesn't really say why they withdrew from the race, though. I think probably the reasoning, there's multiple different reasons. It could be money, it could be sponsorship, it could be something else that just they weren't accounting for and it just popped up. It could be something else, like an emergency situation. Who knows? But it still kind of sucks that they're not racing this weekend. So even if they wouldn't have ran that great anyways, probably you gotta at least give your guy a chance, Anyway, that's really, again, short week, very short week, as we wind down the season. That's really all that I had. So I don't know, Hitmaster, if you got anything else to add.
Not that I can come up with, no.
Any Corrigan Oil news or anything like that, or?
No. All I heard from people that came into my work were that there's going to be a 2024 season, not with the same company, but like there will be a 2024 season. It'll just be a little bit before they do it.
To be expected. So, but at least we've got a future and a hold, so that's cool. Anyway, we don't have any other news. Then I guess we can get into our do a little bit early, get into our playoff outlooks stuff. I don't know if Hitmaster, you want to do that, or?
Sure.
So we got Xfinity and Cup switched up this week. So look at those.
The trucks are not racing.
No, the trucks didn't change because they didn't race at Vegas. So.
Right. Let's see here. Standings. All right. We'll do the Xfinity first. So right now, Shelton Creed, Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, and Chandler Smith are all out of the playoffs. People that are in are Cole Custer with 15 points ahead, Austin Hill, who is 19 points ahead, Justin Allgaier, who is 21 points ahead, and John Hunter Nemechek, who is 47. So most likely you could just mark that off the list of who is going to be locked into the playoffs. Let me see here. Oops. Wrong button. With the Cup Series, with Kyle Larson's win, he is officially locked in to the championship 4. And right now, it is a tight battle right now between 3 Joe Gibbs drivers. So far, Christopher Buescher is 23 points behind. Ryan Blaney is in 7th, 17 points behind. Tyler Reddick is 16 points behind. And I'm going to say this because I have a feeling Martinsville is going to be determined who's making it into the Final Four, because 3 Joe Gibbs drivers are tied with 3rd. Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. They are all 2 points. Well, actually, Christopher Bell is 2 points behind, and Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin are tied with 2 points. So technically, it's Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex that are close. And then William Byron is only 9 points ahead. So this could get very, 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 very iffy. Especially at Homestead.
So, very tight, very, very, very still anybody's game. So, lots to worry about. So, but, of course, still got to do our preview. And I'm going to go to Homestead this weekend. All 3 series are racing. For the Truck Series specifically, it is their round of 8 cutoff. Their Final 4 will be set after the truck race, and actually, they're probably getting ready to race soon at the time of this podcast going up. So, something to look forward to if you got nothing else going on tonight. After watching some more of my channel, obviously, you can watch the truck race. But Homestead, once the championship race, once the be-all, end-all, it's kind of been taking a backseat since COVID. But does that mean it's been putting on worse racing? No. Does it mean it's been putting on better racing? No. I feel like Homestead's been more and more irrelevant since it lost its championship race date, because that was kind of the stem of all of the excitement of Homestead, was you're fighting for a championship, and this is what it's going to come down to. And don't get me wrong, I think Homestead's still a pretty fun track, but it just doesn't have anything specific to it that can like shake drivers up, can make them better. Las Vegas has something to that. Kansas, or even Texas has a little bit more of an attempt at a fun factor. It may fail very terribly, but it at least has an attempt at it. Homestead just doesn't have that. They made Homestead to be like the old Atlanta, so that they could have it at the championship race again, and then they ruined that. Anyway, should still be fun though, especially in the Truck Series, with their cutoff to the Final 4, and with the urgencies picking up in the Xfinity and the Cup Series, should be good stuff there. You're gonna ride the wall, and this is definitely a Tyler Reddick track. He's won here. I think he's won here before. William Byron, I think, has won here before too. So look for those two to be the stronger drivers in the Cup Series. And really just look out for upsets. Drivers who are maybe going to play a little too conservative and might get bit by it. Maybe drivers get play a little too aggressive, might get bit by it too. Who knows? Maybe Chris Buescher will win the race. He can still make it, okay? What a sight that would be to see. But anyway, all 3 series is in town this weekend. Let's start with the truck series. Who do we think is going to win?
I'm going to go off with a limb here, and I'm going to go with Grant Enfinger. Yeah.
That's interesting choice. Interesting choice for sure. I'm gonna go with Rajay. His name's Rajay Caruth. I think his name's Rajay. Yeah. You know what? Why not go with him? He seems like a good choice. Could be a fun win. For sure. So. But then, Xfinity Series. Who do you think is going to win there?
I'm going to have to go with Garrett Smithley. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to lose that immediately, but it has my last name in it and my first 4 letters in it. So I have to go with this.
You know, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. This one's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of good Homestead drivers in the Xfinity Series. I'm going to pick Justin Allgaier. I feel like I pick him a lot, but I think he's a good choice here. Very experienced. This is definitely a track where experience prevails, so that should be good. And then, it's the Cup Series. Do we have the chips today?
Yes, and I found the William Byron one.
AO.
So, we have a William Byron and we have a Kevin Harvick. I found Kevin Harvick a couple days ago. So again, you guys won't be able to see who I pick, but I'll say their name. Here we go.
Darn.
Number 1. Number 1 goes to... Oh, crap, I dropped it. Austin Cindric.
Who the fuck got Austin Cindric? Me?
Yeah.
Fuck.
We start. Okay, we're gonna start with you. Okay, let's try this again.
Oh, we're doing it over? Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yes, I had to do it. Oh, so I was like, I didn't realize that I didn't say this. All right. Instead of Austin Cindric, Kyle Busch.
Fuck. Every time we should do it over because that's a significantly better pick. I could see him winning. Out of the playoffs, got nothing to go for. He's won there before. Oh God, shut up. Okay.
Taking it up and bam. Oh well. Ty Gibbs, yay. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose so badly.
What did you get?
Ty Gibbs.
Sorry to tell you that you're probably not gonna win. So
yeah, that's actually probably one of the first times I actually got messed up.
Well, who knows? Maybe everybody else will wreck out and you'll win. You don't know. So, anyway, that's, again, I apologize for the short episode. There really isn't much more to talk about. I would talk more about NASCAR Arcade Rush, but I think we've already beat that into the ground. So, and I haven't gotten any other new NASCAR games. So, oh well. There will be more to talk about next week for sure. For sure. When we recap Homestead, we'll talk about who made the Final Four for the trucks, and we can preview the Final Four for them and everything. That'll be really, really cool. We'll talk about how the Xfinity and Cup went too. We'll go over hopefully more silly season news, more big announcements that might be just popping out of nowhere. And we'll talk about all that stuff, and then we'll get to previewing Martinsville for the Xfinity and the Cup Series as they get ready to cut off their Final Fours. So should be really cool. The season is definitely winding down, though. Again, only 3 weekends left. 2 truck races and 3 Xfinity and 3 Cup races left. So we'll be here every step of the way for sure. And if you would like to join us and be a guest on a Talking NASCAR podcast episode, either in the next couple weeks when the season's still going or post-season 2, we do post-season episodes around here. All you got to do is join the Pringles Land Company Discord server. Link is in the description down below. And just request to talk a NASCAR role. Get in contact with me or Hitmaster. We will schedule time for you to come on. And it should be really, really good. So, it should be a lot of fun there. Just remember to bring some Mountain Dew while you're at it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, unless you have anything else to say, Hitmaster.
Other than, that's it.
Then that has been this episode of Talking NASCAR Podcast. Go check out more stuff on my channel. Stay tuned for much more amazing content from both me and Hitmaster as well. And so until next episode, till next week, we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.